Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now in today's video, I want to share with you a little bit more about the just launched HUAWEI Mate50 Pro. Now I've actually been using this device for more than a month now, but recently I actually found a way to get Google apps running pretty smoothly on the HUAWEI Mate50 Pro. So the title above that you are seeing here is not any kind of clickbait. It does really work very well on this particular device. But before that, I want to share with you a couple more things, a very quick recap of what my experience have been with the HUAWEI Mate50 Pro over the past 1 month. So with that said, let us jump into today's video and start right away. Now if you remember, or if you have been following me on the channel, you might have noticed that the device that I reviewed back then was this particular black version, but now I actually got the upgraded orange vegan leather version. And with this particular version here, you do get a couple of upgrades, namely two main upgrades. First things first, you do get a much stronger display at the front. That means that it is the Kunlun display, which is very strong towards drop resistance. Apart from that, you also get here an internal memory of up to 512 gigabytes, where it was only 256 GB on the initial version. So that's the two main difference that you will get on this orange vegan leather version. Right, so since we are talking about vegan leather, now this Mate50 Pro here is actually super slim. This vegan leather also makes it feel very nice to the touch. I noticed that orange is not really the color for everyone, but me personally, I kind of like it. It has grown over me over the past 1 month, and I must say that this golden essence on the camera bump, on the entire frame as well, just makes the device looks very much premium, and of course stands out from an already very crowded smartphone space. Right, so other than that, what do we have here? Well, like I mentioned earlier on, we have this very strong display at the front, but before that, this is actually an OLED panel. It's slightly sharper than Full HD, but slightly lesser than QHD. But in terms of resolution, it is a very sharp display. Other than that, it is also super smooth with its 120 Hz, and obviously with an OLED panel, viewing angles is going to be perfect. You're going to get awesome contrast levels, deep blacks, and of course, brightness levels also gets super bright when I am outdoors. Right, so just in terms of how hard this device is, you could actually drop the device on the floor like face on with this particular Kunlun glass, and it will not even crack. For testing sake, I'm going to drop this right in front of the camera right now, and yep, you guys can already hear the sound of that, but yeah, it looks perfectly fine. I'm going to show you guys right away. No cracks, no dents, no scratches whatsoever. Of course, I could do this all day, but we're going to talk about the next feature, which is really cool. Right, so the Mate50 Pro again has really all been about its camera. In fact, recently it just caught the #1 top spot again on DxOMark. So this is currently DxOMark's most powerful smartphone camera they have ever tested. It's #1 up there. Alright, so what's special about these cameras at the back? So we do have a couple of sensors at the back here, but the main sensor here is all about the 50 megapixel sensor and the fact that you can vary the aperture size from up to 10 sizes. Now I already did an in-depth look at this sensor in my previous video, but I'm just going to show you a couple of more shots because I have been traveling and I actually brought along the Mate50 Pro here to be my main shooter. So these are a couple of photos that you can expect from the Mate50 Pro. Obviously, it is #1 on DxOMark, but in terms of real-world use, it's also very good. I took a couple of night shots as well as day shots, and just to summarize the entire experience with the Mate50 Pro, I would say that pictures coming out of it is very consistent. We are getting great colors, great dynamic range, very minimal noise, of course a lot of detail as well. So it's a really good camera that you can find on the Mate50 Pro. Other than that, another interesting thing about this camera here is we do have the X-Mage system, and this basically allows you to choose the kind of saturation levels that you like. So say for instance, you are the kind of person who wants things a little bit more muted, not too saturated, you can always go with the original mode, but if you like something a little bit more saturated, you can just go for vivid mode, and that is actually all processed by the X-Mage system. So pretty cool stuff there in terms of the cameras on the HUAWEI Mate50 Pro. Alright, so just in terms of the battery, because it is a very slim device, you might be wondering what kind of battery we do have, right? So in this case, we do have a 4700 mAh battery that's good for the entire day. And in terms of charging, you do have 66 watt fast wired charging and 50 watts wireless supercharge. So again, it's going to charge up your device very quickly. Now we're going to move on to the most important point here, which is all about those Google apps. How do do you run it? Alright, so as you can see on my screen here, I do have a couple of applications already installed. Speaking about that, EMUI 13 has been really fantastic. I like the fact that we have these really nice widgets that we can, just rotate and hide around. You can also play with the size of the folders of your applications, and you can see at the top here, I do have a lot of applications grouped into one large folder. Very nice here. You got nice widgets designs here as well. So EMUI is just getting better and better. But yes, about that Google support. So all you need to do is actually go into the app gallery, which I do have right here. You go there and download the thing called Lighthouse, which I have already installed. And what Lighthouse will do is it will help you to sign into all your Google apps at once. Now, once you sign into Lighthouse, it will actually be similar to how other Android devices work, where all your other Google apps that you have already installed will be signed in automatically. So as you can see on my screen here, I do have a couple of Google apps. So if I go into Gmail, you will notice that I already have my Gmail signed in. If I go into my Google Drive, which is what I usually do, I can also see all my documents already inside, and notice on the top right corner, I'm also already signed in. Moving back, we can go into my favorite documents, which is like Google Sheets here. This is where I typically put in all sorts of Excel stuff, and for Google Documents, it also works very well. Notice that everything starts up very fast and it syncs, your kind of documents all around very, very quickly, so works well. Most importantly, YouTube, guys. So for YouTube as well, it is also already signed into my account. At the top right corner, you can see that there, and you can just go through all your subscriptions and whatnot, directly on your phone without doing any kind of complicated stuff. Moving on into Google Maps, I know a lot of people have been struggling to get this map working properly, but with the Lighthouse feature, we have Google Maps running very smoothly. So that's just a very quick look at the kind of Google apps that will work on your phone, and this is all thanks to Lighthouse, because everything does work seamlessly. You only have to log in once, and all your applications will be logged into that account. Pretty cool. Now, just in case you're wondering about security, I did actually do a very quick security check in the app gallery. So just going back here, we can go into the security check. I did a very quick scan, and it's so far showing 100%. So I'm not too concerned about that for now, because it's supposed to be quite secure. But yeah, that's pretty much the experience with the Lighthouse here, and I think it really helps to elevate the entire experience of using the HUAWEI Mate 50 Pro. Right now, it's only supported in Malaysia, so the region has to be Malaysia, and it's currently working the best on HUAWEI Mate 50 Pro. I'm not sure when this will be available on other Huawei devices, or even for other countries for that matter. But all I can say is with Lighthouse, the entire experience here is just similar to any other Android device. You can use your Google apps very smoothly, and of course, you have the app gallery with all those, most of your favorite apps already available in it. So with that said, yep, that pretty much sums up my experience with the HUAWEI Mate 50 Pro. Again, this is a very solid device. The device is actually already on sale, and you can pre-order it right now all the way to the 11. I'll put in some details if you want to know about pricing and all that down below. But thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.